All right. Hello, 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 guys. We are live once again, and that can only mean one thing. It is Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's time for me to spend some time hanging out with you guys here live. Like I said, it's Saturday, January 6th, 2018, and man, oh man, is it freaking cold here in Washington, D.C. I know places further up north in New England, like New York and Boston, are getting completely destroyed with snow and super cold and all that stuff. But it's pretty cold here too. I believe it's 18 degrees right now with a high of 19 and a low of 5 today. So yeah, I'm glad to be in here with you guys as opposed to out there in all of that mess. That is absolutely ridiculous. It's actually cold enough here that my car battery decided it doesn't want to start the car. So I'm going to have my my wife tether her car up to it, and we'll have to get it jumped, give that battery a little boost. So I'm home today until she gets back. So that is what it is. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you coming here and joining me live. If this is your first time, welcome, welcome. I'm glad you found me. And if you haven't yet, please make sure to go ahead and subscribe so that you can be notified whenever I go live and you can come hang out and join me. And the beauty of live is obviously interaction. Anybody can watch a playback of a video, but being able to interact with you guys live in real time is pretty much my favorite thing. So if you are here watching live, I do have the chat pulled up here in front of me, so I will be able to see your comments and answer questions. But also, as a little added bonus for you, your comments will pop up live here on the screen. There you go. I've put a sample there, your chat here. So anything that you chat in the live chat will show up on here. I will see it, and we can answer some questions and have some discussions. So let's get right into what our topic for today is then. So obviously I have a YouTube channel and I like sharing tips and tricks and reviews and filmmaking, pretty much everything on this channel. I like to share it with you guys, you know, at no cost. It's YouTube. I want to spread the wealth of knowledge that I've acquired and all that stuff with everybody else, because filmmaking is such a collaborative community. And the YouTube filmmaking community is absolutely no different. I think a lot of the education that I have received beyond film school, because I did go to film school, but that was, you know, just about a decade ago that I graduated, and a lot has changed since then. But a lot of the learning and information that I get is from other creators on YouTube, and there are a ton of fantastic creators who are just selflessly teaching and offering stuff and putting themselves wholeheartedly into their channels. And I want to share with you guys today the channels that I subscribe to. I'm going to focus mainly on the ones that are filmmaking, because I do subscribe to a lot of random junk as well. Not junk, but you know, a lot of stuff. But I want to share with you guys some of my favorite filmmaking channels that have taught me stuff or that give me information, and try and, you know, make this my way of giving a little bit back to that YouTube community that's given me so much. You know, maybe I can show you guys some channels that you didn't know existed, and you know, they'll get new subscribers. And you guys will get the benefit of, you know, having another teacher, another outlet for content and for information. And so I want to share that with you guys today. So there's a lot. So I'm going to go through sort of rapid fire, because otherwise we could be here all day long. But I'm going to go through fairly quickly and go through and highlight the ones that I think are really, really great and that I think you guys should check out. Let's see here. Visual Education AV is here, says hello. Welcome, welcome. Don't recognize your name, so it might be your first time finding me, or maybe just your first time commenting, but thanks a lot for sticking around. We're going to have some fun today. And with that, I say we dive right into it. What do you say, guys? So let me go ahead and get this pulled up here. All right, so here we go, guys. These are the channels that I currently subscribe to on YouTube. And like I said, I'm going to go kind of rapid fire and highlight some of the ones that are the key ones that I think you guys should check out because they've been of huge help to me over the years. First off the bat, this is one of my buddies, Alan Meyer. You know, he doesn't do much on YouTube, but he's a cool dude. I've met him in Las Vegas at NAB actually a few years ago, and now we're good friends. But if you want to, you can go check out Alan's stuff. But moving right along, Andyax. Andyax is a fantastic channel. It's run by mainly this guy, Anders Overgaard. They're from Norway, and they do fantastic work. They do tips and tricks. They do a lot of tutorials. They do gear reviews, and his videos are extremely, extremely high quality. And I really recommend you go check them out. It's kind of sad they actually still have listed on here his friend who he used to do the channel with, Eskilde Fours, who actually passed away in 2017. So that was extremely sad. But definitely go and check out the Andyax channel. I actually was in, he gave a shout out to my 300D review video in his 300D video, which was pretty awesome. It kind of blew my mind that someone that I followed on YouTube, you know, included me in their video. Visual Education AV says second time from yesterday. Awesome. So you were in my, you were watching on Facebook then on the Aperture page. Well, I'm glad you found me. That's awesome. And thanks for, you know, wanting to hear me talk for 2 days in a row. That's a lot. Ask my wife. I'm just kidding. Or maybe I'm not. I don't know. Ask her. Anyway, moving right along. Aperture. So you guys, if you've seen my channel, know I do a lot of work with Aperture. I like their products. I review a lot of their stuff. But they've got a new series going on their channel where they do these little quick tip videos that are actually really, really good. They've got a lot of filmmaking basics and stuff. And so it's not just all commercials for their stuff. In fact, they really don't mention their stuff except for in a few videos. They're doing a lot of great educational stuff. So I recommend popping over there. Errol Avellino, sorry Errol. This is just a buddy of mine who I shoot a lot of films locally with. He's absolutely awesome, part of the Forge Studios. I'll get to that later. Barnacles is a really eclectic guy, used to work for Microsoft. A lot of computer and nerd stuff, not necessarily filmmaking. This guy, the basic filmmaker, I just found him in 2017, and man, is his channel awesome. You know, 62,000 subscribers, but he does all sorts of tutorials. He does some reviews, but he's really, really picky about the reviews that he does because he doesn't want to review anything that he thinks is junk, basically. You know, and he's really great. I highly recommend you go check out his channel. He is fantastic. I can't believe it took me so long to find him. Bill Nichols TV. So Bill Nichols is more of sort of a photography guy, but he actually started his channel not too long ago. He hasn't posted anything in a while, but what he's really good for is he has a lot of stuff with like the latest drone tech. So he uses the high-end drones like the DJI Inspire 2 and stuff like that. And he gets his hands on this really high-end stuff. I think he shoots photography with like Hasselblad, so he's doing all right. He hasn't posted anything in a while, but I would go and check out his backlog of stuff. And there's tons of stuff there, especially if you're looking into to drones and stuff like that. He does awesome. Blackmagic Design, yeah. Brandon JLA, he's one of the Corridor Digital guys. This is his channel. I actually haven't checked him out in quite a while. Camera and Flask, this channel sort of popped up and then died. It was Jem Schofield of the C47 and Caleb Pike from DSLR Video Shooter and one other guy, gosh, I forget his name, but they were doing like a weekly live show type deal like this on that channel, and I think they got too busy and kind of bailed on it, so that's there. Casey Faris. Casey Faris is the guy who runs a website called Ground Control Color, and I have a ton of LUTs from them. I love his stuff, and on his channel here he does tons and tons of tutorials for color grading, and now he does a ton of training for DaVinci Resolve. So if any of you saw my video, my last live show, which was you know, resolutions for 2018, I want to learn DaVinci Resolve, so I'm definitely going to be checking out his channel a lot and seeing what I can learn from his free tutorial, so check that out. Channel super fun. It's just funny stuff from the guys over at Linus Tech Tips. Corridor Digital. If you do not know these guys or subscribe to these guys, go and do it now. It's Sam Gorski and Niko. Man, I can't remember Niko's last name. But they have their whole team. Their company is Corridor Digital. They're out in LA. They started off making visual effects videos and stuff, but they make some amazing videos and some amazing behind the scenes stuff. So definitely check them out. Curtis Judd. Curtis is a fantastic guy. I actually met him at NAB 2017. He's like freaking like 9 feet tall. It's crazy. But he has a channel and he focuses mainly on lighting and sound. So I think he comes particularly from a sound background, and he does really in-depth reviews of the latest sound equipment and lighting equipment. And what's nice about his channel is he does initial impressions and then he comes back like 6 months later and gives his thoughts again. So you can find out what he really thinks about the equipment. So Curtis Judd is fantastic, and he's one that I mentioned to a lot of people that a lot of people haven't heard of. So as we move along, I'm going to go ahead and check our chat. Let's come back up here. Okay, Visual Education AV. I know you're not an AV person, but do you know any channel which have content related to multi-display for conferences? No, I don't know any that specifically have something geared directly towards that, but I do have some tech channels and stuff listed in here. So as we get to those, I'll do a shout out to you and see if maybe they'll be something that could help you out. All right, so let's dive back in, guys, because we got a lot to go through. Like I said, this one's going to be rapid fire. I might even have to pick it up a little bit here. So CVP TV is one that I just recently started watching, and I actually started watching it because Kai Wong from Digital Rev actually joined their team. And so he's got a great personality, but they do gear reviews and stuff like that. So the latest stuff that's coming out, the newest cameras, they usually have stuff on that. Dan Watson runs a website called learningcameras.com, and he started off, I believe, as a wedding photographer, but now he really does a lot of videography. So he also does great reviews of the latest stuff, and he has some nice tutorial videos and stuff on there too. And like I said, he has his website, learningcameras.com. So Dan Watson is a good one. Daniel Peters, a guy who I'm surprised to see it this low on YouTube, but I think the reason for that is that he was primarily a guy posting to Vimeo for years, but he is an amazing cinematographer based in the UK, and I really like his style. I have some of his LUTs. He was included in when I did my show about my favorite LUTs. He does fantastic stuff, and I'm sure as more people find him on YouTube, because I think everybody knows him as being mainly on Vimeo, and Vimeo's kind of not the best social platform. I have a feeling he's gonna take off, and these numbers are gonna climb pretty quick for him. Dave Dugdale, man, Dave is a cornerstone in the online YouTube tutorial and filmmaking community. He is awesome. He started off with was it learningdslrvideo.com or something, but now it's just learningvideo.com. But yeah, he started off as an audio guy, and basically you've been able over the years to follow him through his learning process as he gets into videography. And he does some amazing stuff. He does really in-depth stuff with like matching cameras and color profiles and all sorts of stuff. And Dave Dugdale, man, that's if I was gonna give you like one of my top 5, Dave is it. Daryl Leaves, this is just for building your YouTube channel. Digital tech reviews and tips. You know what? I don't remember subscribing to this one, so I'm gonna have to go and recheck it out, but maybe it's a good one. I mean, it seems like it. It seems more of like a tech channel. Digital Rev TV. So this is one, like I said, Kai Wong and Lok Cheung used to be the hosts of basically Digital Rev TV, did all sorts of crazy zany reviews and stuff like that, based in Hong Kong. And unfortunately, both Kai and Lok have since left. And I feel like the quality of their content has really dropped. They haven't posted nearly as much, but they do have an amazing backlog, 739 videos for you guys to go through and check out. Hey, we got somebody in here from Japan. That's awesome. Elco Cheers from a photographer in Japan. Well, thank you. That is fantastic. Thank you for joining us. I know it's oh my goodness, isn't it like 1 a.m. over there in Japan right now? That's some dedication. I appreciate you joining us. Hopefully, I can give you some you know, decent benefit for joining us today. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Lee is asking, are you going to put these links in your comment section? So I was thinking about that. I believe that I am, because there's going to be a few, quite a few. So what I'll probably do is boil down like my top 10 or maybe top 20, depending on how many there are. And I'll post those in as soon as this video is over. I did think about that, but I wasn't sure. But yeah, I'll do that for you guys. I'll put all these, you know, the top ones that I think you guys really need to check out in there. No, it's 3 a.m. Man, even even more dedicated, Elco. Well, I appreciate it even more. So stick with me as long as you can, I guess, before you fall asleep. I really appreciate it. All right, let's get back in here. Oh, and I stopped right before one of my absolute favorites here. DSLR video shooter, Caleb Pike. This guy is amazing. He does low budget like reviews and builds. He does some DIY stuff where he creates, you know, he modifies electronics and you know, audio preamps and builds these rigs on the cheap. He does all these reviews like, you know, LED lights under $50 and all this stuff. He's absolutely fantastic. He started doing live shows once a week as well. His channel is going to go nowhere but up. He posts on a weekly basis, and he's freaking incredible. You guys need to go and check him out. Let's see here. Eskild Fours. Unfortunately, this is the guy who passed away, who's from the Andyax channel. This was his own channel. Yeah, very, very sad. Gonna miss that guy. Famous Media. This guy used to post a lot. He did some comparisons of cameras like with Reds, against Reds and stuff like that. But I haven't seen him do anything in quite a while, so I'm not sure if he's still updating his channel. I'm going to butcher the name of this because it's German, but Fenchel and Janisch, I'm going to guess. So they're they're German filmmakers. And they do some great behind-the-scenes videos and tutorials, as it says right there, and some reviews of some gear. They've slowed down their posting quite a bit, but they did have something come out, actually, it was either just today or yesterday. So they are still active, it's just not as much. But they also have a fantastic backlog of stuff that you guys should really go and check out. And their stuff is freaking gorgeous that they shoot and put together. They just did something on like night time lapses, and man, their stuff looked absolutely amazing. Fetzerco. I don't remember subscribing to this one either, so maybe I'll have to check it out. Looks like it's a fairly new one, only 2 videos, but there we go. Fiction Media. This is a guy who I met at NAB. Really, he just uses it to post examples of his work, but he has some fantastic work. Boom. Film Riot, man. Film Riot is like the channel for entertainment and filmmaking knowledge and information. They started off, they've been doing it for years. I actually have like their 5th year anniversary poster, but they have done all sorts of amazing stuff. They do it on I think they do 2 videos a week, one where he does a sit down sort of answering questions. Ryan Connolly is the main guy, and then another one is, you know, some other sort of video. But they started off doing, you know, building stuff out of PVC pipes in their garage for like rigs, and now they're shooting basically videos for like Adobe and for Red Giant and stuff like that. So watching them grow, you know, I've sort of grown with them, I feel like, and so there's something there for everybody. You know, on just under 900 videos, 1.2 million subscribers. If you don't know Film Riot, you need to know Film Riot. Let's see here. Elco says, I'm working on a video to upload now. I'm watching you at the same time. Awesome. Good multitasking. I like it. Flight Test, not really anything to do with filmmaking, but it's really cool. They deal with drones and aviation and model aircraft and that kind of stuff. They're a really fun channel. Gear Jones are my buddies Tim Wilson and Derek Allen. They're just getting their channel up and going, but I have done some collaborations with them, so I recommend that you go over there and check them out. Genre Wars is just a channel project that some of my friends did. Griffin Hammond. Griffin, I can't believe Griffin doesn't have a little check next to his name. That's crazy, being verified or whatever it is. So Griffin, you may remember if you ever watched the old Indie Mogul channel, he was one of the hosts way back when. And since then, he's branched out. He had a few different jobs. He moved to like New York. And he now does, he still does some tutorial videos and stuff like that. He did a lot of stuff with the GH5. He works a lot with Panasonic. But he has a weekly podcast as well, and it's fantastic. I love Griffin Hammond. He seems like the most likable guy in the world. It's kind of ridiculous. Let's take a quick chat break here, as I'm making good time moving through everything. I like it. Let's see here. Lee says, Film Riot is one of my favorites. Yeah, Film Riot is absolutely fantastic. I did get to meet them at NAB 2 years ago. But it was a madhouse mob. Like, they tweeted out that they were going to be at the Kessler Crane booth, and of course it was just so I got to like go up and say hey or whatever, but I didn't get to really hang out and like talk with them or anything. So those guys are absolutely amazing. And like I said, it's great to watch them grow from where they were a few years ago to where they are now. I mean, it'll just inspire you to think that, you know, I can do that myself, you know, so that's cool. Ryan's films are also great to watch, not just the reviews. Yeah, he makes these short films. He just had a sci-fi one come out recently. So he makes these short films, and then he does these behind-the-scenes things where he takes you through the whole process. So he's a writer. He likes to compose some music and stuff, and he's a director. He's great with comedy. So yeah, Film Riot, I can't recommend enough. Hello from Madrid. Awesome. Welcome. We're getting some international viewers. I really appreciate that. That's awesome, guys. Yeah, let me know where you guys are watching from. It's always really cool to think that I can sit here in my tiny room outside of Washington, D.C. and have live conversations with people all around the world. That's what this is all about. Elco says, I'm posting quite a lot of photography content and BTS videos, mostly in Japanese. Starting to post more in English soon. Feel free to stop by. I will do that, Elco. I will make sure to find your channel and check it out and get you on my my subscribed list here. That's very cool. Let's go ahead and dive back in. Actually, I'm gonna take a quick drink of water. I feel like I'm like speed talking. I don't know how like auctioneers do this kind of stuff, man. Ah, it's good. All right. Harmony Video Space was somebody that I worked for a long time ago, did music videos. I don't think she's really active on the platform anymore. Harv video and audio stuff. So I just watched one of his videos the other day. He was talking about his growth in 2017. He went from 2,000 subscribers to 20,000 subscribers in just 2017. He's a British guy over in the UK, and he's just real genuine. His videos are real simple, real to the point, no fluff, and he does great stuff. And obviously he is on the climb and is showing no signs of stopping. He has plans for 2018 to, you know, improve his videos and improve his content. So I would go and jump on the Harv video and audio bandwagon there and subscribe to him for sure. Hey Killer Films was something that I used to watch a long time ago. I don't think they've done anything in quite a while, but it's Russell Hasenhauer, who was one of the other hosts from Indie Mogul. This was his channel, but I haven't seen him very active. Ifti Bashir actually does little real short like gear reviews and stuff, a lot of GoPro stuff, and he started getting into like RC cars. So he's kind of all over the map with it, but it might be worth checking him out if you're interested in that kind of stuff. Of course, I mentioned Indie Mogul. Indie Mogul has been around for forever. It actually went away. They shut it down. They said, all right, you know, that's it. But there was so much demand that they brought it back. It's been revived. You know, it's not quite what it used to be, but they do have all sorts of like DIY builds and really cheap, fun filmmaking stuff. Even says right there, fun, cheap filmmaking. So check out Indie Mogul, if anything, for the backlog of videos that they already have. But they do have some new stuff that comes out every once in a while, which is pretty cool. Jared Polin, Frono's Photo. So he is a photographer, admittedly, but they have really started diving a lot more into video production, and so I would go and check him out. He's definitely got a unique personality. I want to say it that, but he is, you know, they put out amazing content, and you know, Steven, the guy who shoots video with him, and Todd, the other guy. They do a fantastic job. Their videos are really, really good. So it is a mix of video and photo, but you know, there's a lot of crossover between photo and video principles. So there's tons of stuff that you can learn from him. And if anything, it's entertaining. He does a great job. Speaking of entertaining, Mr. Kai Wong, like I said, he was one of the hosts, pretty much the main host of the old Digital Rev TV channel. And he is hilarious, man. You know, Chinese guy, British accent, witty as hell. He's absolutely hilarious. But this is his own channel, and so he's been doing a lot there. And I know a lot of people from Digital Rev, you know, popped over and have been subscribing to him. I highly recommend you subscribe to Kai. He's great. He does all sorts of reviews and stuff. Katie McCauley is a singer who I met at NAB. She's got some stuff going on there. Nop Top. Dave Knopp is a guy who he does a ton of like really short, little, simple, creative builds and techniques and, you know, stuff on the cheap. He used to build like cheap props and stuff like that. And then actually he slowed down for a while because he was the main camera guy for Flight Test, the other channel. See, all these guys like know each other. But he is still releasing some stuff. He actually just did a video for Christmas. He built a red out of gingerbread. So like a gingerbread house, but it was a red camera. It's fantastic. So he's quite entertaining. I highly recommend you go over there. Linus Tech Tips. This is where, let's see here, Visual Education AV. Maybe these guys could be able to help you. I haven't seen anything specific, but if you're looking for tech reviews and all sorts of complex stuff in computing and technology, Linus Tech Tips is the place to go. They every once in a while let their you know, their camera and lighting guy Brandon on there and do an episode on a camera or something like that. But for the most part, it is tech stuff. Lok Cheung, I hope I'm saying it right. So Lok is the other guy. He was usually the one behind the camera at Digital Rev. He has also branched out now after leaving there, and this is his personal channel. And he's fantastic. He does all sorts of vlogs, goes to trade shows and gets the scoop on the latest stuff that's coming out. I met him at NAB, got to hang out with him for a little bit. He's a really cool guy. I really recommend you go over there. Let's pop into the chat, and I'm going to take a drink of water as we move along through this here, guys. All right. So let's see. Visual Education AV says, from India. Oh, very cool. Awesome. Jake Guptill, yeah. Watching from Houston. Jake, you and I spent quite a bit of time in another YouTuber's live streams over the past week as he built his studio. Don't worry, he's coming up on the list. But very cool. But let's see here. Lee Love says, this guy edits on your list. No, I don't know that one. So yeah, please guys, if there is stuff that isn't on this list, you know, we're about to start the M's. But if there is anything that I don't have on here, please let me know. You know, I love consuming content and checking it out and finding new sources. So I will check that out. And if you guys are watching the replay of this, please leave down in the comments below some of your favorite channels, and leave a little bit of a description of, you know, what kind of content specifically they're making, so that we can share it with everybody. Let's see here. Shiznuts, dang, I'm late again. What's going on, man? It's the same time every day, or every Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern time. You know, I'm always here. Let's see here. Shiznuts says, a lot less DIY these days. Man, you like those Z's, don't you? Like PVC pipe rigs and tripod dolly hacks were the thing back in the day. Not sure whatever happened to the frugal filmmaker. He's on my list. We'll talk about that. But yeah, Nop Top is keeping it alive. Nop Top is great. That guy just seems like he just loves life and everything, and is having a great time. And that's good. Visual Education TV says, who doesn't know Linus Tech Tips? I mean, yeah, 4.9 million subscribers. I think people know them. And let's see here. First Lock, yep, we're going to get to where that is. And Elco says, I quite like the DSLR video shooter channel. Yeah, Caleb is awesome. I've met him twice. And I really would love to do a collaboration with him at some point in the future. He's up in Chicago. I'm outside of Washington, D.C. But yeah, so many things that he does, I've tried to like sort of emulate. He does a fantastic job. You know, he does that full time, so he can crank out a lot more than I do. But the quality too. You know, it's not just quantity. He does a fantastic job. All right, let's get back in and keep this train moving. Here we go. Okay, so Mastar Media, this is a big channel. This is actually a friend of ours' husband. It's like anime, I think, like Dragon Ball Z stuff. Not really my thing, but I subscribe to it. He does pretty well. You know, just under 1 million subscribers. So. That one's not really my thing, but I'm subscribed anyway. Matt Granger. I love Matt Granger. He started off as that Nikon guy, or in his Australian accent, that Nikon guy. And he's primarily a photographer, but as most photographers are these days, they're, you know, crossing into video as well. And he has got some new series happening on his channel where he reviews gear, where he goes and he travels a ton. Hosting all these workshops and stuff, so he's always got travel stuff going. His channel is incredible. He does competitions, they're photography competitions, but he does those, and he does do some live broadcasts as well. He's now based in New York. He used to be in Sydney, I believe Sydney, but Australia nonetheless. But yeah, he moved to New York actually last year, and he's a cool guy. Here we go, Max Yuryev. Max, I've said it so many times, but does fantastic videos. Lately, he's been doing a lot of like computer builds and like in-depth comparisons of how different software runs on different computers. So like he did the new iMac Pro versus you know, the previous generation iMac top end, and how they performed in DaVinci Resolve, how they performed in Adobe Premiere, and how they performed in Final Cut Pro X. And so he does a lot of great stuff. He does reviews of filmmaking equipment and all that stuff. And yeah, he's great. I did get to meet him at NAB as well briefly and hang out and talk with him. But this guy is definitely going places. You can see he's 75,000 right now, but he's doing a fantastic job. Love it. Mini wargaming, another thing that's not really my cup of tea, but it's some friends of mine who were actors in a movie that I did a few years ago. They're up in Canada and they run this this channel. It's for like, you know, games with like miniatures, like Warhammer and that kind of stuff. Not really my thing, but I want to show my support by subscribing. Mr. 508 Films, this is another one that I don't recall subscribing to, but I will have to check it out. Looks like it's someone who I was probably chatting with at one point, and is pretty new to the platform. Mr. CheesyCam, M from CheesyCam. They're in San Francisco, and this guy is great. He does all sorts of reviews and tips and setups. You know what, Visual Education AV, he does a lot of stuff now with like live streaming and broadcasting from events and stuff like that. So I'm not sure if he'd be able to help you out with that setup that you were talking about for like a conference or a convention, but he's getting into some of that stuff. But yeah, I mean, you gotta know CheesyCam. There's a website associated with it where there's all sorts of blog posts, which is CheesyCam.com. Everything from low-end DIY stuff to really high-end stuff. He's got everything in there. Neumannfilms, Luke Newman. I believe he's in Oregon or Washington. I don't know why I'm speculating when I don't know the actual answer, but he's out there. So he doesn't post as much as he used to, but he is an amazing cinematographer. And when he does post stuff, I click it and gobble it up. I freaking love it. He actually did some of the test footage that was used in all of the releases for the GH5. So like a lot of the promotional video clips and stuff that you saw as sample footage, he shot a lot of that. He's great. I would go and check his channel out. But yeah, let me see here. Okay, we're moving along. Let's take a quick chat break. So you guys are going crazy in there. Let's check it out. But lately, people seem to be moving away from the Panasonic cameras, like they were the thing to go to back in the day. The GH2, the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera with a micro four thirds mount, and the GH4. Now people are going Canon again, Sony, even Fujifilm. You know, I don't know. I even recently just went Panasonic, you know, not fully like switched over, but I got a Panasonic GH5, which is what I'm shooting on right now. And I'm sort of, I used to be a Canon fanboy all the way, but I realize now I just need the best camera for me. So I have two Canon cameras, an XF300 and a 5D Mark III. And then I have a Blackmagic Ursa Mini 4.6 and now Panasonic GH5, so I'm all over the map. But let's see here. IGIS Producciones says, excellent idea to connect the video and photo family. Yeah, photography channels, I watch so many of them because a lot of the things are so cross-platform, and a lot of the photographers are getting into video and are starting to learn and do that, and so you can learn along with them. And it's just great. I mean, I watch so many photographer channels, but I take terrible stills. But a lot of the concepts and things cross over, so it's pretty cool. Let's see here. Shiznut says getting less coverage of micro four thirds cameras now. Hope the GH5S changes the game. It's the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema. All right, I'm not going to talk about this GH5S. I'm so sick of this rumored GH5S. God, I hope they just freaking announce it on Monday and let that be it. Thank you. Yeah, Neumannfilms. Luke's great and teasing us with that GH5S. Jake says, yeah, Max Yuryev does great side-by-side vids comparing gear. He really does. He takes stuff and does it in a sense of, here's one, let's see how it does directly against this. And so, yeah, I do like that about him. Let's see here. Lee, Canon is way behind in the video market. I completely agree. Unfortunately, they seem to make their moves like 6 months to a year too late. So when it comes out, we're all kind of like, I already have something that can do that. So I don't know what's going on over there. Elco says, I'm quite considering trying Sony this month. Anyway, I'm using Canon 1DX now. The Canon 1DX is a nice camera. That is a darn good camera. But yeah, Sony does make a lot of competitive stuff. I don't own any of their things, but for work, my other job, we shoot all Sony. So I shoot the FS7 and the FS5 all the time. Okay, so we're starting to talk a little bit and going back and forth about cameras, so I'll let you guys go ahead and chat that up. I'm going to get us back moving along because we still got some people to highlight, and I want to make sure I get them all in there. Okay, so back in here, guys. We left off with Luke Newman. So next is NextWaveDV. Okay, so this channel is Tony Reale is his name, and they are a company, actually, I think they're in like Green Bay, Wisconsin. They are some guys who started off very small as well, but now have built up to be a full-service production house. They haven't posted in quite a while that I've seen, but the stuff that they have posted in the past, I really recommend you go and look at. One of the things that they did every year was they did booth interviews at the NAB show. And I would watch it as they released it. You know, they were at the show, they were seeing the stuff, they were getting it out there. And so they actually inspired me to do my NAB show content, which I've done for now 3 years in a row. You know, I've gone and done and sort of tried to recreate kind of like what they did. And I have actually bumped into them at the show there. We've crossed paths and said hello and stuff like that and all that. So they're cool guys. I recommend checking out NextWaveDV. Nick Nimmin is a great guy. He gives YouTube tips, like how to grow your channel, and he does channel reviews and stuff like that. So you can check him out if you're trying to really grow your channel. Node is sort of the sister channel or company, if you will, to Corridor Digital. This is more video game and stuff. And so they basically sit around and play video games, and it's really funny. It's the same guys, so I enjoy watching that. Even though I don't play any video games, but I like to watch people play them. So Olivia Tech Videos. This is really old. She hasn't been active in a really, really long time, so you can skip that one. One Lone Dork, otherwise known as DSLR Film Noob. But his channel name is One Lone Dork. It's this guy JD, and he does reviews, and more commonly, he used to do an hour-long like podcast kind of show, you know, once a month or something like that, that were great. And he would have guests on there like Mitch from Planet 5D, and Devin Hansen. Devin is now actually a buddy of mine. I got to meet up with him, and Devin actually helped me to get all my YouTube streaming, you know, in order and all that kind of stuff. They don't do the show as often anymore. They did have one pop up maybe a few months ago. But basically what it is JD, I guess, has a new job, and it's really taking up a ton of his time. They don't get to do it as much. But I do recommend you guys go ahead and subscribe to them so that you get notified when they do have something new come up, because their stuff is great. I love it. All right, this next one probably needs no introduction. Peter McKinnon, the guy who has got like a million views in one, or a million subscribers in like the course of a year, now at 1.5 million. Peter McKinnon is a Toronto-based photographer and cinematographer. Just go click on Peter McKinnon right now. Well, not right now. Wait until after the show and then go click on Peter McKinnon, and subscribe to him. You will not be disappointed. His stuff is gorgeous. He's got a lot of energy. He's a really active personality. He's great. Let's see here. Peter Streeple, sorry, no T in there. This guy was the sort of crazy kid on Flight Test a while back, and now, you know, he's moved back home, but he does these incredible builds. They're usually like aircraft or RC things, and he has a great editing style and puts it together, and it's just really entertaining. This kid actually built a working ultralight airplane out of foam, and he flew it. It was crazy. So all right, Mr. Philip Bloom. Philip Bloom, amazing cinematographer. He's been in the industry. He started off as a news cameraman guy. I think he said like 27 years ago or something like that. He doesn't post very frequently, but when something of his comes out, it is super in-depth, it is super well done, and it is information that you want. And he just actually released, I don't think it's on YouTube yet, I think it's just on Vimeo, but he did a 55-minute long review of the Panasonic EVA-1, so that's great. Philip Bloom is definitely one to be on the list. I'm going to pop back into chat here. We're getting down, we're doing pretty good on time. All right, let's see what we got here in chat. Elco says, yeah, since I started YouTube and learned a bit about video, it's quite useful for photography too. Been using a lot of strobes until now. I'm recently enjoying playing with the LED lights. Very cool. Yeah, continuous lighting versus strobes in flash is really, it's a big lighting shift between photography and sort of video. Don't know why that was escaping me. Let's see here.
See here, Trevor, have you added YCI imaging to your list?
contemporary urban music videos. No, I don't know that one. So do me a favor and please make sure to leave that in the comments once the video is over so that everyone can check it out, although it'll be on the screen here too. But yeah, I want to check that out. Let's see here. Drone Wolf Media, hit that like button, guys. Thank you. I appreciate that, Drone Wolf Media. Let's see here. Cheers Nuts. Also, The Hollywood Reporter does a bunch of roundtables with actors, etc., but also directors and cinematographers. Highly, highly recommend. Wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah, seeing interviews and stuff with people at like the top of the industry is always fascinating. Let's see here. Jake says, Bart, my camera work is all in the church space, live streaming and recording live. You go back and forth between wanting to upgrade your Sony PXW X70 to either FS5 or GH5. What do you suggest? You know what? I might actually recommend the FS5 for that, depending on your audio needs. Now, yes, you can get the XLR1 adapter for the GH5 so that you can run XLR audio into it. It's just an add-on thing, so I don't know what kind of reliability and stuff like that. I do use it and have no problems with it. I'm running through it right now. But maybe an FS5 might be a better solution for you. I believe the prices on them have come down quite a bit. I think the EVA1 kind of pushed a lot of stuff down. So that's what I would say there. Let's see, the Philip Bloom Christmas special and Zacuto shootout against proper cinema cameras made me get the hack GH2. Very cool, yeah. Luke, hey, what's up? Hey, Luke, welcome. Thank you for joining. I appreciated your comments on my my new channel trailer that I put up last night. That's awesome. I really appreciate it. All right, let's get back in here. We're coming on the home stretch, but time is getting short. Well, not like I have to go anywhere, so I'll keep going until we finish it, but we're moving along here. All right, so the next one I've got on here is Photo Gear News. Photo Gear News is from the guy Dan Cheung. He's a you know, a photographer and video guy, but he's basically started up his own, obviously, gear news channel. And actually, Lok now is one of their presenters, one of their hosts for them. So they're a newer channel, but they go to all those trade shows and they check out the new gear. They do some reviews and stuff like that. They're budding, so they're kind of an alternative opinion to some of the other ones. Not saying they don't agree, but just saying, you know, the more sources you have to get your news, the more you can cross-reference what everything is and see what's up. Here we go. PhotoJoseph. So Jake, this is what Jake and I spent watching his live streams. He's rebuilding a studio, or actually rebuilt a studio, and he live streamed it completely, like 7 hours each day as he built and like rearranged everything. He's absolutely crazy. But he is also mainly a photographer, at least used to be, and now he's really moving into the video space, particularly live video. He does live shows every day at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time, because he's in Oregon, and he covers all sorts of topics. He sometimes reviews gear and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, he does his live shows 3 days a week. So PhotoJoseph is absolutely awesome. I have been hooked on his channel. I can't wait. Every time I get that alert that he's got a live show up, man, I'd go and check it out. And this guy actually sort of was the push and inspired me. I was like, you know what? I want to start doing live shows. So that was awesome. PhotoJoseph, check it out. Photoshop Cafe. Colin Smith, he does a lot of what it sounds like, you know, Photoshop tutorials and stuff like that. He also does a lot of stuff with drones. So I would go and check his channel out if that's something that you are interested in. ProAVTV is another company. I believe they're like a distributor in the UK, but they do these little videos when new stuff comes out. They get to sometimes get a hold of the gear before the general public, and they do you know, a preview video of it, like they did it for the C200 and stuff like that. But they do a lot of little short tutorial and review videos as well, mainly highlighting the equipment that's newest, because they are, like I said, a distributor, so they're kind of sort of getting a double benefit. They're saying we have this gear, but also you get to find out about the gear. Random Frank P is a tech review and gaming YouTuber. I really like his tech reviews. He does some good stuff. So if you're into that kind of stuff and computers, check him out. Rocket Jump is the studio started by Mr. Freddie Wong. I don't know if you remember Freddie Wong, but he was another one of those guys who started off making YouTube videos with like visual effects and stuff. I think his claim to fame was like the real life Mario Kart one that he did. But they have since blown up, created a full-scale studio. They produce mainly for Hulu now. They do, you know, big shows like Hollywood production style for Hulu. But they do have a lot of stuff on their channel, tutorials, live streams, behind the scenes stuff a lot of the time. And they used to have something called Rocket Jump Film School. I don't know if it's still running, but I would look that up as well. Rocket Jump is great. Sam and Niko. Sam and Niko, again, are the guys from the Corridor Digital channel. This is sort of their side channel. This has a lot more of like day-to-day, like every other day. I think they do like a vlog kind of thing. And they also do a lot of the behind the scenes. They push a lot of the behind the scenes from the projects that they make that come out on the Corridor Digital channel. A lot of the behind the scenes are in here. So I would check them out. Subscribe to both of those, both Corridor Digital and Sam and Niko. And if you like video games too, then that Node channel that I mentioned. Stefan Check. This is a German guy. As you can see, his description is completely in German, but his videos, he actually presents them both in German and in English. He is a professional glide cam operator. So he has some great glide cam videos and some great glide cam training videos, like practices that you can do to get better at doing different movements and stuff like that. I haven't seen him put a lot of stuff up lately, but if you do want to learn how to do those manual stabilizers, you know, like steady cams and glide cams, check out his channel. He has some great tutorials and exercises for you to do to learn how to operate those better. Strons Vanderplug, I hope I said it right. He is a cinematographer. I recently just subscribed to him this past year because he was the guy who was made famous for, he live streamed from his phone the entire NAB show. Like every day, everywhere he went, he had his phone and he ran the whole thing. So you could follow him all day on his phone through there. But then I found him and he does a lot of high-end cinematography work. He has some tips for traveling with gear and stuff like that. I would go ahead and check out his channel. Again, someone who hasn't been very active lately. I guess everybody's getting pretty busy, but I would definitely go and check him out. Sully is a buddy who I chat with in a bunch of these live show groups, so you can go ahead and check him out. Tested.com is Adam Savage from the Mythbusters. It's his channel, and they do all sorts of maker stuff, like new science, new technology, virtual reality, woodworking, just building stuff. You know, like I always tell people that if I wasn't a filmmaker, I probably would have been an engineer, and this definitely excites the engineer side of my brain, so I love that channel. The Forge Studios. Forge Studios is a bunch of buddies of mine. I've shot a whole bunch of projects for them and short films. They usually do fantasy and sci-fi stuff, all indie films and indie projects, so feel free to go by and check them out. The Slanted Lens, JP Morgan, again, another guy who's a photographer who's really moving into the video world in a big way. They actually do some amazing side-by-side comparisons. I think they had like an Alexa for one thing to compare it to a camera. They just did one. It was, I think, the EVA-1 and the C200 from Canon. So go check out the Slanted Lens. JP has a ridiculous sense of humor. He is an energetic guy, and it's great. Let's see here. Just gonna check the chat real quick, see if we got anything for you. Random question from Chisnas: what would you use as a podcast mic, and what are you using now? A shotgun so we can see your face? No. So I've never done like a podcast. I do have a little well, it's not little, but a USB connected condenser microphone over here, but I really don't like the quality of it. I bought it a long time ago. It's really cheap. So in terms of that, I think I think Rode has like their podcaster mics that pretty much everyone likes to use. What I'm using right now is I have a lav mic on. It's one of my Sony lavalier mics, and it's it's actually wireless pack on my side, going to the wireless receiver, which is going via XLR into the XLR1 module on top of the GH5. So that's how it's getting the audio in there. And then audio and video are going out over HDMI and coming into the computer. So for audio right now, I'm using a lav mic. I'm not using an overhead shotgun mic or anything like that. There's just not enough space in here for me to set up a boom stand to be able to comfortably move around. I'd have to break it out and set it up every time. This just works better for me. Let's see here. Okay, I see a lot of people are saying Blue Yeti and all that stuff. But yeah, okay. There you go. Yeah, okay, so people are giving you ideas for podcast style microphones. Let's see here. Trevor says, yeah, Strawn's output has fallen off the map. He used to put like a video a day. Yeah, I haven't seen him post a lot lately, which is kind of sad, but I would still recommend subscribing just so if he, you know, he pops back onto the map. Man, his stuff was great when he was releasing it, so. All right, let's get back in here. We're moving right along. This one's probably going to run a little bit long, guys. I hope that's okay with you. The slow-mo guys, Dan and Gav, these guys are fantastic. They shoot all sorts of fun stuff with the Phantom high-speed cameras. They do goofy stuff and all sorts of things, so I would definitely check out the slow-mo guys. The Burns Tech, this is a buddy who I chat with in mainly the PhotoJoseph channel live thing, so I like to subscribe to people to show my support, you know. The C47, this is Jem Schofield. Jem Schofield is a true working professional, so he doesn't get to update very much, but he had a show, a long-running show called the C47, which of course he is now migrated over to YouTube, but the majority of it existed on Vimeo. It was Vimeo for years and years and years. So this guy does pro-level stuff. I mean, he does stuff where he's like, all right, this is where we're setting up the red. We've got a few Aries sky panels and all that. And I'm just like, boom. But he's a great guy to learn from. The Camera Project. So this was one that I stumbled upon this past year. I think it was when I was looking for videos about the GH5. They, again, more photography, but they do some fun little challenges and stuff like that, and they do some camera reviews, and they do mention video in that. And like I said, I initially found them because of the GH5 that I was looking for. So they got some good info on there. I would check them out. Let's see here. TheCameraStoreTV. These guys, Chris and Jordan, they're absolutely legendary. They are from a store called The Camera Store. Up in Calgary, I believe they are, Canada, and they are a fantastic duo. Their personalities make for great watching. They do really in-depth reviews of stuff. They do tutorials. They've started doing live shows. Surprised they didn't have a live show today. They usually do them on Saturdays. But Jordan is the video guy and Chris is the stills guy, and man, they do some amazing stuff, both stills reviews and video cameras and stuff. Just watch those guys, they're hilarious. They do like an end of the year wrap up each year where they get drunk. This year they played Battleship against each other, and whenever somebody sunk something, they had to, you know, drink some gin or whatever. It was crazy. They're very entertaining. So I know somebody had mentioned this before, the Frugal Filmmaker. We haven't seen anything from him in a long time, but he was the guy for like DIY or low budget filmmaking solutions and stuff like that. There is still a Frugal Filmmaker Facebook group that I've heard is very active and people are still in there. Basically what happened was, last I had heard, his wife got a new job in Alaska and he moved to Alaska, and he was doing a few shows from Alaska and then it kind of dropped off. But like I said, this is another one that I would go through and check out the backlog, see some of the stuff that he'd done in the past, and it's really good. Theo Jotech, this was a tech guy. I don't think this channel is actually active anymore. I think he switched it over to a different channel. Tom Antos. Tom Antos is freaking god with filmmaking reviews and stuff like that. He is fantastic. He's a cinematographer. He has shot short films. He's shot feature films. He does all sorts of gear reviews. He does gimbals. He does, you know, cameras. He does all sorts of stuff. He does a live show. I believe it's every Sunday at noon. I think he's up in like the New York area now. I met him and hung out and talked with him a few times, just briefly because we were both busy at NAB. But he's an awesome guy. I would love to work and collaborate with Tom Antos. He has actually done some collaborations with my friends from Gear Jones, and I am super jealous. I would love to do some work with Tom Antos. Let's see here. Tony and Chelsea Northrup. Again, primarily photographers, but they do some amazing video stuff. They're high end. They get invited by the companies to come to the product releases and stuff. They get their hands on stuff first. They get to check it out, and they do really great, tips and tricks videos. And they do have a weekly live show at 5 p.m. Eastern time on Thursdays that I recommend you check out. Oh, look at this name right here. Who could that be? Oh, Mr. Trevor. So there you are, Trevor. I gave you a subscribe, buddy. So there you go. We're coming down to the very end of the list. I'm going to check the chat real quick before we go through these last three, even though you guys already sort of saw who they are. Actually, I guess it's just really one more, but you know what? Let's just finish it. Let's finish it. Let's do this thing. Okay. Ugly McGregor, another guy in the UK who's a cinematographer. He does filmmaking tutorials, short films. He has a really interesting style with his stuff, sort of like dark and creepy looking and all that. Unfortunately, another guy who posts only once in a blue moon, but you can tell that his posts are worth it because he has 50 videos, but 74,000 subscribers. So when he posts, it's worth watching. So I would go and check out Ugly McGregor. And these last two, Vault Show was a YouTube episodic TV show that was put together. It was like a puzzle mystery kind of thing. It's entertaining. I would take a peek at it. I'm not sure if they ever really completed it though. I don't remember seeing like a finale to it. So you may have a cliffhanger on that one. And then YouTube Red Originals. I don't know if YouTube automatically subscribed me to this or if I did it. But there we go, guys. That is a lot of stuff, a lot of filmmaking stuff, some tech stuff, and then some random stuff. Like I said, guys, you did request, and I will go through and I'll pull out like the best of the best from here, and I will put them down in the video description. So it's going to take me a little bit right after the show to get all these links and put them in there, but I will do that for you guys so that you can check it out. And of course, share with me some of the channels that you are subscribed to that I might want to check out, or that others who are watching might want to check out. It's always good to find more and to learn from more people, and it's just, it's fun to be part of a collaborative community and have everything grow. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button below this video here and get my channel on your list of subscribed if you haven't yet already. And make sure to click that notification bell so that you do get alerts whenever I have something happening. Because in 2018, I do these live shows once a week, but I also do a lot of sort of pre-produced and edited content like gear reviews and all sorts of stuff. And I have been brainstorming, and I have a list of content that I want to start cranking out this year. And I am going to try and carve out the time to make sure I get those out in a timely fashion for you guys. So that's something that I definitely want to do. Let's see here. I'm going to move this over so I can read these all big. Let's see here. Chiznuts, did you ever follow a course or something that was hosted on Creative Live? No, I've actually never checked out any of the Creative Live courses. I know a lot of people that I follow have done courses on there, like Ryan Connolly from Film Riot has done it and stuff like that, but I never have. I think it's something you got to pay for unless you like join it as it's happening, and I always seem to be busy or something like that. Let's see here. Trevor says, the Camera Store TV is probably a channel I go to for definitive camera reviews, photo and video. Yeah, those guys are the most objective guys. They do fantastic job at reviewing, and I recommend you go check it out. And I love the contrast between Chris and Jordan. You know, it's pretty funny. And make sure that you get a review of a camera from both the still side and from the video side from both of them. You know, one does one side, one does the other. It's pretty cool. Let's see here. Trevor says, Tom Antos, that's my guy. Yeah, man, he's amazing. So much real world information of how to shoot great video. He talks about gear, but the real focus for him is shooting and creating content. Yeah, it's true. He really does focus on the creation side and you know, using the tools that you have. And you know, his most recommended camera right now is still like the GH4. Because it does what he needs. He doesn't see a need to, you know, go further. He did just pick up, I think, like an A6500 from Sony, but he does a great job. Tom Antos is ridiculous, and that guy cranks out like 2 or 3 videos a week, like on top of his live show every week too. He's wow. He's great. Let's see here. Trevor says, dude, take me off of there. You're trying to make me create content finally? Yeah, maybe it'll get you going there, you know, get you pushing. No, I had to show you some support, man. So I subscribed to you the other day when we were hanging out in PhotoJoseph's live stream. Elco says, Tony is probably one of my favorite channels. Yeah, Tony and Chelsea Northrup, I definitely recommend going and checking out. Their content is fantastic. A lot of stuff for still shooters, but a lot of stuff for video as well. They do a lot of video reviews with 4K cameras and all sorts of stuff like that. So let's see here. Noir et Blanc V. Hey Bart, keep up the good work. Thank you. I hope I pronounced your name somewhat close to accurately and correctly. I appreciate you joining. That's awesome. And let's see here. Elco says, I think you're following most of the channels that I have been following. Yeah, you know, it's a lot of the big ones. So if there are any that you are following that I don't know about or that others might not know about, please, after the video's done, pop them down in the description so that we can share them with everybody, because I'm always looking for new channels to check out, and I'm sure everybody else is too. So yeah. So let's see here, guys. We've gone just over an hour, which is not bad. There's nothing wrong with that, but it means I'm probably going to be bringing this to a close. Yeah, Ilko says the sun is rising in Japan, so it's probably time to at least let him go. So we're going to wrap this thing up, guys. I appreciate all of you joining me live and being in the chat. If you have never joined us live in one of these, man, make sure you join us. Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern time. As you can see, it's a good old time, and hopefully you learn something along the way as well. Let's see here. Oh, by the way, Bart, I finally updated my Ursa 4.6, the newest firmware. Finally scrubbing during clip reviews. So much better. You know what? I think I'm one firmware behind. So maybe I'll get that updated today and do that. But awesome. That's good to hear that they're always improving the cameras. So guys, like I said, every Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern time, live right here. Next week is no exception. We will be back Saturday the... I can't read my own handwriting. 13th. Saturday the 13th of January, 1 p.m. Eastern time. And I have got a topic that I know is going to stir the pot, but it should be really entertaining. We are going to be talking about Hollywood. Does Hollywood still make good movies? So I know everybody's going to have different opinions on this one, so this is going to be an open forum discussion, and I'm sure it's going to be quite a lively one, but it'll be fun. Elko says, finished getting one video and now off to the bullet train in Tokyo. Japan is on the go. LOL. Yep. Well, you go do what you got to do. I appreciate you stopping by. Let's see here. Okay, so yeah, guys, that's going to be the end of it. So if you have some thoughts on whether Hollywood is making garbage or making gold, get those together and make sure to come and join me next Saturday, and we can talk about that live. It'll be a good one, I'm sure. I'm sure this chat will be scrolling pretty quick, and I'll be trying to keep up. But guys, I appreciate you joining. I hope you go and check out some of those YouTube channels, and hopefully you find some stuff to subscribe to and discover some new content and some new content creators out there. So guys, you take care of yourselves. As always, I appreciate it, and I will see you next time.